Hello, my friends. Your tea is ready. Help yourselves. I'm grateful for your kind words in the comments under my previous videos. Thank you. That's wonderful. We've got so much in common. Many thanks for sharing your experiences with me and the others. I do appreciate it. You've made my day as well. It's time for another story, so please make yourselves comfortable. My granny indeed has green fingers, and one might get lost in her garden while exploring it for at least hours, surrounded by all kinds of plants. Time seems to be slowing down in this place, making anything else outside of little importance. My soul is at peace, while my sensors are inquisitively studying and catching all the natural teasers around me. At some point, you begin to distinguish all winged beings and the hums they make, and soon, by simply a flap of wings, you see what's flying behind you, on your right and on your left, even without seeing it. Lizards and frogs creeping near your feet or jumping out of grass appear to be no more frightening but cute instead, and you no longer studied their presence. Cute, yet not so much to pick them up. I quite vividly remember the moment when, in the shade of a pear tree, I looked up and saw its leaves glowing amber at the edges. It seemed to be a door to another dimension. Very enchanting it was, indeed. I wonder if people nowadays are able to define the name of a tree by merely the shape of its leaves, as well as they recognize brands. Would you mind challenging yourselves? Let's start off with an easy one. What tree does this leaf belong to? A maple. Alright, next. A willow. What about this one? An oak. Here comes next. An aspen. Take a look at this. A poplar. Next one. A birch. Try this one. A beech. Get another one. A linden. We're almost there. An ash. The home stretch is right ahead. A chestnut. Just a few steps left. A palm tree. We're almost done. And now, excellent. Now please let me know how many of them you've named correctly. Write down in the comment section below this video. In the summertime, the life in my granny's garden is in full swing, producing smells and ounce of every description. So cute it was once watching a bee buzzing among tiny chartreuse flowers whose pollen had locked it in. The insect looked so busy that I even stepped aside not to interfere. As it said, "Do you want to help me? Do not bother me." I wonder if it knew what global mission it was carrying out so selflessly. It's so small while doing big things. To become a part of this world requires you to step out of your habitual reality and merge with it. Combine your energies, breathe as one, as if there's no life apart from each other, like being a vital organ of a big body that cannot do without. Can you feel what it's like being so responsible for not just yourself? It's stated that everything in this world is interconnected. If so, what part do humans play in this play of life? A major or a minor role? Or perhaps they ought to step off stage and let it go without their hand. Would life ever overcome the loss of us? The bee was still hard at it when a swarm of mosquitoes were out on a hunt, breaking the silence, buzzing noisily and distastefully. It was time to be back indoors. It was quite hot in the kitchen. My granny was infusing herbs in the teapot. Her house was tranquil then, and the white walls were ornamented with lace-like shadows cast from the curtains which were hiding the sunlit stained glass windows. The furniture, its old-fashioned decor, Hemstitch doilies on surfaces, decorative tabletop frames with fragments of your life, round wall clock with a silver pendulum. They are integral elements of your world. The quiet tick of the clock was heard in each room, reminding about the incessant march of time. My granny always has a bottle of perfume on her bedside table. Its lively floral fragrance isn't haunting much, but it lingers on quite long. As for me, it's a trail wafting straight from my early childhood, for at least a while to plunge into the past, to be that little boy once again, to relieve those feelings. Distantly though, I sprayed my neck, just a little bit, with that time-reversing bouquet. We drank the tea together and then I headed home. I used to take an alley instead of the street packed with noisy kids playing all over the place. The alley is always silent, with a line of cherry plum trees on either hand. Once the fruit is ripe, it's second to none. I got some down to relish at home. I remember a cute dark puppy playing with an empty plastic bottle behind the wire fencing, so lonely. Anytime I passed by, it ran up to me, playfully wiggling its tail and poking its muzzle through a hole in the fencing to lick my hand. I believe it so much needed a friend to play with. I always hoped its master to be a nice person. On the way home, I heard a curious buzz behind my back. I looked around, but there was nothing, so I walked on. In no time at all, I made it out again, and as I turned, I spotted a bee flying right at my eyes level. I waved it away with my hand and proceeded home. However, the familiar buzz was back again quite shortly. I believe I could recognize the one from an orchestra of similar buzzes. There was something of a surprise, and even understanding that it was a mere insect. Some kind of panic seized me anyway. And yes, my intuition didn't let me down. I hastened my steps and soon found me running away, simultaneously fending off with my cherry plums. The street was deserted, so no one could ever witness this kind of absurd. I managed to reach home somehow and slammed the door behind me, right in front of the stalker with a sting. But it wouldn't leave me alone, still terrorizing me, banging against the window to break in. However, its unbreakable determination had to deal with unbreakable pain, which tempered its fervor promptly, and after a few instants of futile attempts, it vanished into thin air. Nonsensical, while at the same time quite an amusing story to shoot a movie about. I had a hunch that it might be that bee, which I had seen earlier among those tiny chartreuse flowers whose pollen had locked it in. I believe the reason why I had been so intent and persistent laying the floral trail that had been tailing me from my granny's house. Thank you ever so much for watching this video till the end. I appreciate it indeed. I'll take it as a compliment if you encourage my narration with a like and ring that tiny cute bell for more. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.